Frontier opening bell, the 29th of August. It's a Thursday, everyone. Just two more sessions and we're done with August. Then we'll come to that very crucial month in the year when central banks' interest rate decisions, very crucial for whatever fiscal year you're looking at. So we're just going to see how the markets finishing up. Today, we're expecting the US GDP and a couple of inflation data out of the world's biggest economy, giving us a sense of how the US Central Bank would decide on September the 18th. It's a major decision time for the FOMC that everyone's watching around the world. But let's get into yesterday's trading day here in Frontier Africa. The Nigerian market lost about 176 billion naira yesterday after the market bucked the trend that we saw of a bit upside between Monday and Tuesday. And then the market fell back on Wednesday. And that's a very interesting scenario to see investors pile out, sell down MTN, a few names in the banking sector, FBN Holdings, Access Corp. Then you have non-banking names such as NASCOM Industries PLC. Broadly speaking, the market was negative on the equity side, but positive on the fixed income side. When we look at the FMDQ Securities Exchange in Nigeria on Wednesday, that's about 865 billion naira in total that was traded through government securities. The short dated, the treasuries mature in June, August 2025 were the most actively traded. Those deals account for about 780 billion out of the headline total. Keep that in mind. But let's just stick with West Africa. Look at the BRVM. The composite went up 0.55% on Wednesday to continue that rally that we saw on Tuesday, and that's consolidating the BRVM around 251. In Ghana, the market was just one basis point to the north after a couple of sessions at a flattish end. What else do we see? Look at the North African market. The EGX 30 was 1.14%. That's a very roaring Wednesday. Would that be repeated today, Thursday, to take the Egyptian market to the end of its business and market week is anyone's guess. But we'll see what that looks like. When we come back tomorrow, we'll report that for you. Casablanca was also better by 0.25%, as well as the Tunisian index up by 0.26%. The South African market was negative by about 0.75%. And then you've got the Zimbabwean market also down roughly 0.5%. And that's just summarizing the market for you. The Nairobi stock market also finished in the red. Despite earnings that was releases for the first half we saw from some of the biggest banks, including KCB Group, ABSA, reporting and providing some facts behind its earnings 2 days ago. Let's take it up and see what are the headlines from East Africa as we get the new week started. Ethiopia is getting ready with its new securities exchange, which is expected to get started later, sometime in October. We're just about a month or so away from that opening. In the meantime, the entire structures that's needed to get that market up and running is being put in place right now by the authorities. Quite a couple of news around that particular region, as we saw also Uganda, Bank of Uganda approving a payment service payment service operator system for Flutterwave, headquartered in Nigeria. That means the fintech market in Uganda is being fleshed up. Uganda is also digging furiously for oil. That is also one thing that President Museveni's administration is keen on getting in place. Things are not looking really good in Zambia as we expect to see more electricity shortages. Everyone's been asked to prepare for the power outages or lower supply outputs that will be coming through September through to October. Let's get into Southern Africa's market today, and quite a whole lot of news impacting on the market. Earnings on one side, and of course you talk about the markets in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is reeling in debt, as it was, facing a whole lot of debt issues, whether to white farmers, owners, and clearing up fiscal balance sheet. So Time Bank of Zimbabwe says it's ready to do a syndicated loan of about $35 billion to support the government. And that was a proposal on the table for the President Emerson Mnangagwa's administration there. Then, of course, you've got the South African Johan Rupert upsetting Nigeria's billionaire businessman Aliko Dangote to become Africa's richest man. That's according to the latest Bloomberg Billionaires Index, called the BBI. That was released just about 2 days ago. Congratulations to Rupert. And of course, it's a work in progress, by the way. Aliko has held that title for 13 straight years and has been upset again because Nigeria's FX devaluation came on board, inflation, the tough operating environment. And of course, you've got the whole policies of the government over the past year. And of course, those massive investments in fertilizer plants as well as petroleum refinery facility being done by Aliko Dangote. So it's got about $1.3 billion down in its total value. Rupert is up about 1.9 billion US dollars. And Zambia, as I said earlier, is looking at a very tough situation right now. And those tough situation brought about by climate change, El Nino drought is impacting Namibia, also in Southern Africa, with about 785 wild animals expected to be culled by the government, and the government plans to share the meat of those wild animals, including about 80 elephants or so, to people to have something to eat just to survive the very harsh impact of the drought that the country face right now. It's a very tough one right now for Africa, in Southern Africa, and we're seeing the impact of climate change also with Nigeria, looking at flooding across about 12 states out of 36 due to climate change, and thousands of hectares of farmland being lost. And that's going to put more pressure on Nigeria's current or existing tough food sustainability issue. Let's go to North Africa. And Libya is still seeing at least right now, about 800,000 barrels of oil being taken out of circulation by the authorities in the eastern province. The western authorities still say things are okay, but of course the market is reacting to that. The spread between European Brent and Dubai crude swaps expanded to the highest level in 10 months over the past few days, but the market is recovering overnight, and oil prices suggest it's a little bit sluggish in the green territory early Thursday, and try to discount the supply disruptions in Libya, and taking a look into U.S. crude inventory that we saw 2.2 million barrels per day. EIA data came in about 36 hours ago or thereabouts. Everyone's preparing right now for U.S. Labor Day weekend. That's going to happen on September the 2nd. So folks are storing up on gas just to enjoy the Labor Day weekend that's just ahead. And that's some of your headlines to get your Thursday started, the fourth business day of the week. Enjoy it, everyone. I am Bosin number 5, and then I'll see you back soon tomorrow, Friday, to wrap up the month of August. Bye for now.